Hey YouTube, how y'all doing today? On today's episode of That's That I Don't Like, we are gonna be discussing disingenuous motherfuckers. Okay, that's what we're gonna be discussing today. So, as you all know, by just the first few seconds of this video, we're gonna be talking about fake ass motherfuckers who do shit for their own personal gain and not because they genuine. Okay, and that's something I really hate for real, for real. Like in my journey of adulthood, because I've been an adult for about 10 years now, because I'll be 29 March 29th. And I graduated high school when I was 19. Not too much on me. Not too much on me. We'll get into that reason for another time, for another story. But today we're going to talk about how people will sit up and play in your face and act like they kind and caring and compassionate and they really be conniving. So yeah, I hate when a motherfucker be like, "Oh, I'm doing this because I love you and I care about you," and then kind of find out they doing it because they want to use you and they trying to exploit the fuck out of you. And something that I realized over the years that I've been able to learn now through reflections is that people only target people who they think are weak. They either think you weak, you're not supported, meaning you don't have no type of community, you don't have nobody that's gonna ride for you, and excuse me, they don't think you know what the fuck is going on. So they either think you weak-minded, they think you slow-minded, and weak-minded and slow-minded is not the same thing. Weak-minded mean that you don't have no guts, you don't have no backbone, like you're not gonna stand up for yourself. And then slow-minded is they don't think you gonna catch on fast enough to the ones and twos that they pulling on you, the wool that they pulling over your eyes. They don't think you gonna catch that shit fast enough. They think by the time they got you, now you just not starting to catch up to what the whole plan is. They think you don't got no discernment, you ain't got no higher power, you ain't in tune with your intuition. And then they think or they know you don't have no community. Now, at some point in time down the line, I done been all three. I done been slow-minded, I done been weak-minded, and I have been in spaces where I do not have the community that I desire. And now I'm at a point where I'm only one out of the three and not three for three. When I was younger, like 19, 20, I did not have no backbone in order to be able to stand on what it is that I knew what was right without feeling guilty somewhere down the line and letting motherfuckers slide for the fucked up shit that they're doing. And then at another point, I'm not even gonna say I was slow-minded. It's that I was not listening to my intuition. But that still counts as slow-minded because you not confident in your ability to peep game and actually trust that you are picking up what is being put down indirectly in passive aggressive ways in front of you. And so now that I'm in a space where I'm not weak-minded, I'm not slow-minded, and even if I do not have the community that I desire, I'm able to still stand 10 toes on my own and be able to make it out of any situation. And it took a lot of time for me to realize, like, bitch, you the one and not the two. It took me a long time to realize that it don't matter what somebody do to me or try to put on me, God gonna always come through for me. It took me 10 years. 10, because it took like the end of last year for me to really sit in everything that I've been going through since I graduated high school to realize that, hey, man will fail you, but God ain't failed me yet. Every prayer that I send up, baby, I promise you what I'm looking for gonna always fall down on me. Now, it's a matter of if I'm gonna learn from the mistakes that I made and stop putting myself in situations for people to think that I'm something to play with. That now I'm having to realize, like, okay, so you see God is coming through for you. Now you got to be able to do your part too. And I mean long term, not inconsistently, like not like, oh, I'm doing good right now, and then as soon as something distracting come my way or somebody else got their own problems and they trying to put them in my face and make me feel bad for them and use my resources to help them, then now I'm getting distracted on what it is that I'm supposed to be doing for myself. Now that I've been in enough situations to know that, okay, self-preservation is key, especially when you in spaces where you ain't got nobody that's gonna come through for you every time you got something going on. Now, yes, God will send people on my path to help me, but if I'm not in a space where I can help myself without feeling guilty for other people that is not getting the help that they need in a time span that they're looking for, then yes, I'm gonna keep ending up being in spaces where motherfuckers feel comfortable to target me because they think that I'm slow-minded, weak-minded, or have no community. But however, that's besides the point. But one thing I can say is I can take accountability for the things that I be doing. It's one thing to sit up and be a victim and always think something is happening to you, but it's another thing to be able to sit back and say, this is the part that I played in my own demise. And that's why we just went down that timeline for y'all to understand that, okay, so yes, people do be doing fucked up shit to me. However, this is the part where people feel comfortable to do fucked up shit to me because I'm not in a space where I can stand fully on what I need to do. What's it coming? So, like I was saying, disingenuous people usually target motherfuckers that they think are weak enough to be exploited, abused without any type of consequence in turn for their actions. And this is a pattern that I have picked up in my life, like since I was a little girl, but it's different when you a child and people are doing stuff to you because they know nobody not gonna like catch them or hold them accountable. And it's another thing when you grown and people are doing stuff to you and they feel comfortable doing it to you, and you have to sit back and be like, why do people feel comfortable doing this to me? And that's the space where I'm at, where I realize, like, okay, yes, it is fucked up that you thought that it was okay to do some fucked up shit and some weird shit to me. And it's like, I have so many story times on just people doing weird ass shit that literally boggle your mind, blow your mind, flabbergasted all over the motherfucking place. Like, even with the shootout situation with my sister. Girl, you invited me and my son to come and live with you because I was dealing with weird stuff with the other sister being passive aggressive, just for you to turn around and have me and my son caught in the middle of a fucking shootout. And then you told the police that I and my baby father opened the door for your crazy ass baby daddy when I'm the same person that told you to go file a police report against him in a TPO so he can come back to your house so we could all be protected, including your children. And then you want me to feel sorry for you that you had to jump over a balcony to avoid being shot, but you turned around and tell me that I'm over exaggerating the situation and it's not that deep. And I went into a psychotic episode because I thought my sister and her children was dead. And my nervous system could not find peace after that situation because I was moving from place to place to place to place, and people was playing in my face and face and face and face. Even the situation I'm going through right now with my baby daddy's sister. I'm not even gonna get in there and get into that because, ooh, child, that's too fresh for me to even get into. Like, I promise y'all, I be having situation after situation after situation after situation, and I had to really sit back and say, Shanteria, what is this trying to teach you? Because in order for you to be able to learn from life, you have to take yourself out of victim mode. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. So what I had to realize is that the reason why I'm going through certain experiences is because it's lessons that need to be learned to empower me and actually expand the consciousness of my soul. Because so many of us forget that we are a spirit having a human experience and not that we are just a flesh. That's not what this is. These are experiences meant to expand your consciousness outside of this reality. And a lot of people are not that deep enough to even sit down to be able to say, okay, so whatever I'm learning right now, it's going to help me in the spirit world because I'm a spirit first. And it's going to help me draw closer to my source because I'm trying to get to a higher level of consciousness. People can't sit down and have that type of conversation. So just me saying this, a lot of y'all may or may not get it. I am not sure. But if you get it, you get it. If you don't, baby, you got to do some more research. You got to do some more prayer. You got to do some more sitting with yourself and some meditating. But what I'm saying is, I had to stop crying and saying, oh my God, why is this happening to me? I don't understand. And I had to realize that I am a student of life. And life is filled with uncomfortable lessons that is supposed to help me evolve into my higher self. And when I was able to make that correlation, I think I was about like 23 when I started to like really realize like life is not happening to me, it's happening for me. But it was like I was still upset because even if life is happening for me, why I keep having all these fucked up experiences? Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? I don't know. I was just like, is this supposed to be this fucked up? Or is this like you know how you playing a video game and then you got easy mode, you got intermediate, and then you got like hard mode. I low key felt like life was like extra hard as fuck. And I was just like, bro, can we like reset the game? Like, why the fuck is it so hard? Like, everything should not have to be fucking hard. But I was able to sit down and reflect some more and look at my family and be able to say, okay, the reason why life is very hard for me and it may not be as hard for my peers or friends is because their ancestors or ascendants did the inner work and the outer work to actually put their descendants, or what you want to call it, I forgot, but I think descendants is a good enough word, basically in better positions. Like I was always the friend that was always going through something. That's why I don't have friends no more, because my friends got tired of being my friends because I was always going through fucked up shit. And it was just like every time I called them I was crying or complaining about something that was going wrong in my life. And most of my friends, it made them uncomfortable because they didn't even know how to deal or even like navigate mentally how was I processing and dealing with all this stuff at one time. And they slowly all started to like chip off. They slowly did. And I thought it was something that I was doing wrong. Like I wasn't a good friend, but I realized like people don't always want to hear sad shit all the fucking time. And yeah, that's just really it. People don't want to hear sad shit all the fucking time. And then people who are willing to listen to the stuff like that is usually one or two things. They keeping tabs on you and they looking for a way in to do what they want to do without being held accountable for it. Cause I have went through situations where I'm thinking somebody is fucking with me and they're not fucking with me. Or your fucked up life situations is making them feel better about what the fuck they going through. And that's real spill too. That's why I'm learning like it's probably better for me to just suffer in silence, because girl, people will listen to your problems and be telling it to other motherfuckers. And I didn't even know that a lot of people have the mindset of I would rather it be you than me. So one of my friends, I didn't even know she had that mindset where it was like her listening to my problems made her feel better about what she was going through. And it took for my situation to just get better just a little bit. It took for me to be able to accomplish one thing that she hadn't accomplished yet for her to feel intimidated by my growth enough to just do a silent cutoff altogether. When I was going through trauma, when I was being played with left and right, and motherfuckers was just charring me, and I was just going through it. Going through it. This girl was there every step of the way. But when I started getting big money, I'm talking about like surplus of money, I started getting flued out. Lord, that's not even a word, but I'm just going to flow with it. When I started getting flued out, and then I got my own apartment, it was like her whole demeanor changed slowly. And it was like intuitively, I knew, okay, she feels some type of way, but I don't know why. She should be happy for me deep down inside, but she couldn't be. And then when it got to a point where now I'm giving her advice on things that I actually went through and learned from, and she cannot accept it because people will look at you like, how dare you try to give me advice and look at everything you're going through. And it took for me to go through that with her to realize like she did not value the friendship the same way I did. I was really like her charity friend. Like she was the friend that made her feel good about herself. And the moment that standing next to me did not make her shine brighter than me, she didn't want to be near me anymore. And that was very heartbreaking, but it also showed me how disingenuous she was as a person, because all it took for me is to start getting better in my situation and not be so hectic for you to say, oh, I don't want to be around you no more. You couldn't even tell me that you didn't want to be around me. You just had to let me figure it out on my own, ignore all my text messages, ignore all my phone calls. It's just like, people really be out here just disingenuous. Like that's literally the lesson that I've had to learn over the years. Like, people do not be what they say they are. Like, and sometimes it takes longer than usual for a person's true colors to come out, because circumstances have not allowed you to see that this person is not meant to be around you long term, or you should have listened to your intuition a long time ago and stopped dealing with them. And it's like, even with my aunt, Kiwana, with the whole feds in an apartment and her daughter was on the run for murder. My intuition had told me to stop dealing with this lady a while ago, but I was so hell bent on like trying to trust her, because I was in a space where I needed help and I had the funds, but I did not have like the paperwork to match. So I needed her to like try to help me figure out how can I go about getting my needs met while I'm still trying to navigate, basic stuff like having a consistent job or having paperwork to be able to show that I get money consistently and stuff like that. And so the fact that this lady stole $1,200 from me and then turned around and got mad because I called her out on using me for my money to aid her daughter in a motherfucking murder case, running from the law. You turn around and try to convince me that you did me a favor by letting me and my son stay in an apartment, and then you try to use my mental health diagnosis as a means to deflect from what you did. Meaning, it's just like, looking at all these situations, you realize like people really be trifling. Like, people really be trifling. Like, I have so many trifling stories. I'm talking about so many. But one thing I have learned is that you have to trust yourself to enough to be able to help yourself. If you can't trust yourself, then it's gonna be hard for you to trust anybody else. And if you trust other people more than you trust yourself, that's not good. That's literally what I had to realize too. Like, you allowing other people to try to tell you who you are, and they don't even know who they is. They don't even know themselves, but they're trying to tell you about you. And it's like a manipulation game where it's like, if I could trick you out your spot, then I'm good. I could take your spot. And that's literally like a lot of the situations that I've been in, where it's like, people will take advantage of you because they see what you're going through, and they also know enough about you to be able to target you and know how it may or may not play out. But a lot of times people can't really get me the way they think they are, because I'm a wild card. That's something I had to realize about my own self. I always got some shit going on, or got some shit up my sleeve, or God got a ram in a bush for me. Even when I don't even know what the fuck be going on, God be knowing what the fuck be going on, and God will literally like abruptly disrupt a situation just to show me, get your motherfucking ass and take the motherfucking left field. And I just be like, but what happened? And then it's like, I might not know the answer in that moment, but the more I keep, you know, talking to the God that I pray to, because everybody don't pray to the same God. Like, I used to pray to Jesus, but now I just say source my creator, because respectfully, like, I had to come to the realization that Jesus is the savior of creation, but Jesus is not the creator. And I know people like, oh, you got to go through Jesus to get to his father. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what if I told you I got permission to go to the Father and I don't got to pray to Jesus no more? And then people don't want to accept that. I done had that conversation so many times with people where I be like, look, I don't pray to Jesus because I don't have to. I've been praying to Jesus for a long time, and then I talked to Jesus and I said, bro, I don't want to talk to you no more. I want to talk to the head nigga in charge. And the head nigga in charge said, okay, because we fuck with you that way. And then people get mad at me because I don't think that your God is the God that you think he is. And then people be like, oh, you gonna go to hell? Bitch, I'm already in hell. I'm trying to get the fuck out. The fuck? Like, people be thinking that hell's supposed to scare you when life is really whooping your ass. Like a lake of fire. Bitch, a lot of y'all is motherfucking burning and y'all ain't even in hell. Bitch, your motherfucking pussies and dinglings is burning up. This just went left field. Oh my god. I gotta edit this on my YouTube video. Ooh, that is funny. But wow. I just took it to hell. Lord bless it. But yeah, y'all. I just had to think about that. Like, niggas be niggering. And you gotta out nigger niggers. If that makes sense. I think I'm just rambling at this point. But anyways, yeah. That's all I had to say today. That I hate when a motherfucker be acting like they fuck with you and they really don't. And you gotta still fuck with yourself even if nobody else don't fuck with you. Okay? As long as you fuck with yourself and God fuck with you, you're gonna be good regardless of what anybody else trying to do to you, trying to pull over you, trying to play in your face. Because at the end of the day, as long as you pray, God gonna pave a way. Okay.